Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to the Smallville Retrospective. We are talking about Season 2, Episode 18. Visitor. Visitor. Potato Head. Hockey puck. So we go from great episode, best of the Season 2. I know what they were trying to do with this episode, but it just came off as... This is one that I always kind of... Like, if I'm binging the series, this is the background episode. This is one, okay, on the way to... Because we are getting into the nitty-gritty of, like the finish line of Season 2. And really... After Rosetta, it's just getting to those last 3 episodes, I think is what they are, that are... Really, it's the last 2 that are anything of note, but... I don't know. So in this episode, Clark... meets a kid named Cyrus who claims to be an alien. Even after making fire appear behind some bullies, he thinks he's an alien. And Clark sets out to help this kid and figure out if he is an alien or not. In the B plot, Helen moves into Lex's mansion and is confused by, he gave her a key to every door, to every room in the mansion, except for one, which of course we know is the room that he's got all his Clark stuff in. This B plot really isn't unnecessary because it leads to something that us as viewers already know. But there's also a C plot of sorts with Martha going to see Helen against Jonathan's knowledge because he doesn't trust Helen because Helen is with Lex. So, in his words, he doesn't want their family secrets to become pillow talk, which is doctor-patient confidentiality. She legally can't say anything, so I don't know. There's a little thing she goes to visit her. I don't know if it goes anywhere. But yeah, the main plot. Look, I can't pretend to be invested in this story. I can't. It's just... I got a scratch on my finger. That's why I keep looking at it. I think I got a scratch on my finger. I think it's a scratch key. So Cyrus, he's first of all, he's going around the electronics lab is what it's called. I thought it was a science class. I don't know. I never heard of an electronics lab. But he's plugging things, and this catches the ire of some bullies, and I've made it known, how I feel about bullies in TV shows. They're used only to further the plot, and that's what this does. It just really... when we get to the climax, I went, really? Are we really doing this? It just doesn't... This episode falls apart by the end of the episode. It just... I get what they were trying to do, like I said earlier, but it just fizzles out at the end. It just doesn't... Clark offers, I guess, to house Whitney's horse at the farm, which ends up getting sick. Cyrus happens to show up to confront Clark because Chloe now knows. But to be fair, he was talking to Chloe about it before he talked to Cyrus and made the promise. So technically, it doesn't count. But, but the horse falls and Cyrus heals him. Now, we've already seen that supposedly he could do heat vision, but healing, that's not in Clark's repertoire. So what is going on here? Cyrus says that his ship came in the meteor shower and draws. The ship looks just like Clark's. And that, he didn't know his parents, he has foster parents, whatever. But Chloe makes a discovery that that the fire, I was thinking of pyrotechnics at the same time. The fire that happened was actually caused using the stuff that magicians use. The powder stuff that they set up, what do they call it? Flash powder stuff that he sets up. That's how he did it. And but after that, Principal Reynolds, who is always mentioned now and never seen. We never see Principal Reynolds again, but he's just mentioned. Now we never see him. Even how are they going to get? Principal Reynolds takes his project that was his device. It was a part of his beacon to send back to his home world, or the aliens to come and get him. And so they go to school, and the bullies show up again for no fucking reason other than we have to spread out the time. I don't know. It makes no sense that they show up there out of nowhere. How did they know they were going there? It makes no sense. Were they just stalking the school, waiting for him to go get his stuff? Well, that makes sense, I guess. But other than that, I don't know. The Clark uses his heat vision to blow up a truck, set the truck on fire. You little 5 chicks don't work on us now, and it happened. And he's like, "Hey, you did it, Cyrus." And he's like, "No, Clark, you did it. You're an alien too, aren't you?" And so Cyrus says he's not going to tell anyone. Of course he wouldn't, but but then the truth is revealed. Sorry about that. The truth is finally revealed about Jordan. And it turns out that Jordan and his family are living on a farm close to where the ship landed. They think that his parents were eviscerated by the meteor shower, but Jordan survived. And he's not all there in the head. He is taken to a medical facility where Clark gets him out of there, as he still firmly believes, but he gets him out of there and he says you can go home, but then this is after, he finds out after this part, I guess. And then we get to, it cuts from that to a scene with Cyrus putting it together, and you see a truck pull up, and okay, Clark's here to talk to him about it. No, it's the bullies. And this is where I'm like, okay, that's it. No. They're using bullies for story purposes, and it's fucking stupid. The bullies would not know where his thing is, okay? The bullies would not know where his beacon is. They wouldn't know. There's no way they would know to go out there. There's no way. No way. It makes no sense. To quote Mike Rosebaum, it's asinine. It makes no sense that they would know where his thing is, where his beacon is. I gotta say beacon because when I say know where his thing is, it sounds nasty. Know where his beacon is. They show up and they hook the thing up. And it looks like the lead bully is gonna change his mind, but he's like, do it! And so they start pulling the thing, and it's going. And I'm yelling, Clark, come on! Clark shows up, grabs it, pulls it back, causing the chain to snap. The lead bully slips and falls in mud or whatever, and breaks his neck. You can't break your neck with slipping in mud. But Cyrus uses his healing powers as we think that there is a mothership or something showing up. He uses, and they make it seem like, if he uses his powers, he's gonna miss his ship. It's right there, just and then beam up. But no, it turns out it's just a helicopter. It's not an alien ship. It's a helicopter. He does heal him. So I'm thinking he's just a meteor freak with healing powers, I guess. But yeah, and then Cyrus, I thought he died, but no, apparently he had a mental breakdown and his brain is gone, but his body's still there. Where I come from, we call that brain dead. And I don't think he did it last time because without family, because his foster family kicked him to the curb. So without actual family members, they're gonna pull the plug on him. He's a vegetable basically, and I don't know. I never hear from him again, so I don't know. But and for some reason, the last scene. So we have a scene the next day. Another scratch on my other finger. I must have scratched my fingers doing something. Whether it was at work or probably messing with a couch earlier. But afterwards we see the Jonathan and Martha talking to him. He's like, "Oh, and we know how much you wanted to not be alone." And then we end the episode with him and Lana talking, which is interesting. All of a sudden, I did like this though because a shooting star comes. He asks her about if it's a very good question. If Cyrus was an alien, would you have thought of him differently? Well, I would definitely be nervous, something to that extent. And he kind of looks at it. Shooting star. She goes, "Look, was that a spaceship?" He goes, "No, it's just a shooting star." Then he looks at her and he smiles like, "I know what I'm wishing for." And then the episode ends. It's fine. It's getting 3 Superman logos out of 5. It's fine. It's not completely terrible, but it's one that when I go through and watch these, I won't skip, but it'll just be like a background noise until the next episode. It just, I don't know. It's one of those episodes that's just there and doesn't really do anything for me. It's fine. It's fine. And by the way, Rosetta, directed by James Marshall, which also explains Greg Beeman, James Marshall, 2 of the best directors on the series, so it makes sense. But this one, I don't know who directed it. I don't really care. It's meh, right? So what are your thoughts on this episode? Leave a comment below. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.